Hey my friends, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I don't know how many of you guys saw the video where I talked about my friend who was carjacked and murdered. In that video I mentioned how it had a profound impact on me and wanting to help women in every chance I get to learn how to defend themselves in sticky situations. And so I brought a friend over today and we're going to talk a little bit about self-defense with her. She happens to be a Muay Thai champion, national champion, and she also is a killer in jiu-jitsu. This is my good friend Jess.
Hello everyone.
So Jess, tell us how did you get started in martial arts?
So I did martial arts for a little bit when I was younger. I did a jiu-jitsu class and I loved it. Got back into it in college, joined a local gym, kept doing jiu-jitsu, and then I wanted to try out a striking class, so started doing some Muay Thai and then started competing in jiu-jitsu. Did my first Muay Thai fight last year, and yeah, I love every aspect of it. I've really enjoyed the self-development aspect of martial arts especially, and then self-defense is kind of a really good byproduct of practicing martial arts as well, so we'll talk more about that.
But you didn't start martial arts to defend yourself.
Correct, yes, I just got into it because I was just drawn into that space. I really loved it. I love the challenge of learning new things and just growing, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and learning how to be more comfortable in that. It's been a really good space for me to practice mindfulness, practicing like breathing exercises, positive self-talk, visualization, things like that have been really helpful for me in my own journey.
And self-confidence too, right?
Yes, yeah, self-confidence has been a really good one. I think the more you believe in your own capability, the more confident you become on and off the mats.
Just so you guys know, despite my size and my martial arts training, I would never want to go against her. She got a lot more training behind her belt. She's a lot quicker, and if I had to fight her, I don't think I'd get a single hit in. So good thing that'll never happen.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about martial arts, especially jiu-jitsu, is that it evens the playing field. I've gone against people in jiu-jitsu that were much more experienced in jiu-jitsu than me, that could manhandle me, and they weighed like half my weight. It doesn't matter if you weigh 300 pounds and are all muscle. If somebody's got your arm in an arm bar and it feels like they're gonna break it off, that's no fun. You can also get somebody put you in a rear naked choke. That if you don't know what to do, that's just the most, you feel so vulnerable. From a self-defense perspective, I think it's common for people to, look at somebody bigger than them and maybe tougher than them and fear them. And I think that's healthy, to fear somebody that's bigger than you. But there are tools out there, there's things you can do that can really even the playing field. And I think it's important for people to, especially women, to get at least some self-defense training. And I go to the gym all the time, the regular gym where people lift weights and stuff, and I see people have beautiful bodies there and beautiful muscles and stuff, and I think to myself, okay, so you got all that beautiful muscle, what can you do with it? And the thing is, with jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and martial arts, you can have beautiful muscles, but you have things that you can do with them. You can actually use them. You can use them to defend yourself. You can use them for many different things, for a sport. If you're going to go to the gym, you might as well learn how to use your muscles, learn how to do something with them. And if you learn martial arts, then you're killing two birds with one stone. You're keeping your body healthy, and you're also learning how to protect yourself.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit earlier today about how, especially in more developed countries or safer cities where the crime rate is lower, you may not feel like you need to know self-defense, but it's still good to have a basic understanding and consistently practice it, because you never know what could happen, regardless of if you're in a safe city or not.
In fact, there's actually lots of stories you can get on YouTube of women who weren't skilled in martial arts, who fought back and ended up on top. And then there's also stories of women who know martial arts that have been attacked, that absolutely decimated their attacker. So this isn't theory. There's real life stories that you can watch on YouTube, listen to on YouTube, or read about. This is real. And I think, even if you don't decide to learn martial arts, keeping your body healthy and keeping strong and not looking like a victim is huge. That's the first thing. Don't look like a victim, and keep your body healthy. And if somebody ever attacks you, fight back, no matter how scary they look. Most attackers are looking for victims. They're not looking for somebody that's going to fight back. And so if you do fight back, a good chance they might up and leave. They may decide to go find somebody that's going to be an easier target.
So talking about like how you carry yourself, that kind of ties into like your energy with confidence. I'm a big believer in more holistic self-defense, and so that means learning how to strengthen your mind, your body, and your spirit, because we're more than just our physical bodies. And so the more that you practice mindfulness, the more that you physically work out or take care of your body, the more that you have a supportive community where you feel like you're being built up, things like that, that's going to help you strengthen every part of who you are. And so you develop more self-awareness and confidence in your personal worth and your capabilities, so that you avoid situations where you might need to defend yourself in the first place.
You mentioned mindfulness a few times. Could you maybe explain what mindful is? I don't think everybody knows what mindfulness is.
Yeah, mindfulness, I like to describe it as when you're aligned between your mind and your body and your spirit also. So it's just when you're showing up as your true self, when you're fully confident, and yeah, you're just more in the present. It's really easy to live in the past or live in the future, especially with our mindset. And so if you're living in the past or the future, then it's going to be really hard to be mindful of what's happening in the present, and you're not going to have that self-awareness that you need to be able to defend yourself.
And when you are overwhelmed with emotions, I'm guessing it's kind of hard to be mindful.
Yes.
So gaining control of your emotions is probably a big step in becoming mindful.
Yeah, emotions for sure, because if you're busy, even just being like super negative, or you're really stressed, it's going to take you out of what's happening in the moment. And so the more you learn how to regulate your emotions, that's going to be really helpful. I think it's important to note that if something does happen, if you do get attacked, of course your body's going to naturally go into the fight or flight mode, and so you're just going to react. And so the more you practice self-defense, the more you'll build that like muscle memory, and you'll have more of a fighting chance to be able to defend yourself.
I agree 100%. We're going to show you guys some things that if you do find yourself in a bad situation, you don't have to know martial arts to do these things. Just know this is basic stuff. It's not a substitute for learning jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or whatever, general self-defense. This is just basic 101 stuff. And so, yeah, I just want to help you all out a little bit. First thing I want to teach is an attack on the eyes. And this is very dangerous. You obviously don't want to do it unless you really fear that you're going to be severely injured or killed, because it will severely injure the person that you're attacking. There's a couple things to keep in mind with an eye attack. You only want to go for one eye. You don't want the other person to know what you're doing, because then they can defend against it. So you want to be able to get in there and get that eye attacked without them being able to defend themselves. And that's easier done with just one hand, one thumb. When you do it, you want to have the mindset that you're probably only going to have one chance, because after you try one time, whoever's attacking you now knows what you're trying to do, and they're going to do better at preventing you from attacking their eyes. You don't want to come in here and go like this, because, this crazy attacker here sees exactly what I'm doing, gonna, push my hand out of the way, and then now she knows that that's what I'm going to do, go after her eyes. One thing you can do if you're being attacked, it's natural to put your hands up like this. So to defend yourself, you can put your hands up. Now what this does is this, now your thumb's closer to the other person. And you can even do something like, leave me alone, leave me alone. Your hands are right up here. Go ahead and put your hands up like you're gonna attack me. But see, now, yeah, I might get hit right here, but my thumb is really close to her eyes. You can use this part of your hand to guide that thumb into her eye, or your attacker's eye. Please don't attack her. If you see her, thank her for helping me do this video. You can use these fingers, keep these fingers tense, use them to guide your thumb. You don't want to just, like some people say, you can do this. Well, if there's movement going on between you and them, doing this isn't going to be very accurate. You may get them, but you know, there's a chance you won't. And the idea is to maximize the chance of you getting your thumb in there. You know, you keep your hands up. You want to get the less distance you have to travel to get that thumb into their eye, the better. The less you're going to telegraph what your plans are. And telegraphing is basically telling them, you know, what you're doing, and gives them a chance to defend against your attack. So you want to go in quick, you want to go in hard, you want to commit, you don't want to just go halfway, you want to go all the way. Here's something about attacking one eye. When you attack one eye, both eyes are going to be shut, they're going to be blind. They're going to be on their knees, and they're not going to be able to do anything against you. You can beat them up, or you can leave. I recommend leaving, but you know, maybe they need a little bit of a butt kicking too. Here's a common one that an attacker will do, is an attacker will grab your wrists like this to control you, whether to drag you along, to put you into a car, or to drag you into a room, or whatever. This is a controlling position, and this is actually very easy to get out of. You want to go ahead and show how to do it? So let's talk about what you did. What'd you do?
So I actually moved into him instead of trying to pull away. So I moved into him, and I just looked for that opening between the thumb and the fingers, because that's the weak spot. And then I just tried to move my elbow towards him and move my hand out away through that opening. And I'm also like putting my whole body weight into it, not just trying to move my wrist.
I'm gonna put, is it okay if I put all my strength into preventing you from doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. This is real. If she doesn't do it, you know, we'll see. We'll see if she's gonna be able to make this work. I'm putting all my strength into this. Go ahead.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep. One thing I did there, I also used my free hand, grabbed my other fist, and then helped leverage it that way.
Okay. So now, what happens if it's 2-on-1? That is going to be twice as hard, I think. Let's see what you can do. One thing I liked that she did is she didn't have success right in the beginning, but she kept fighting it, kept working it, and eventually she got it. And one thing she did in the first was she kneed me. She was really gentle with me. It would have been more effective if she would have gone harder, but I don't think she wants to put me in the hospital today. So anyway, yeah, an initial attack gets the person's mind off of what they're doing, and now they're also having to think defensively, so they're not able to focus all their energy, and it makes it easier for you to get out of that. And let's show them the moves you actually did.
Okay. So again, I grab my fist here. I need them in the stomach or the groin area, or even come in for an elbow up here. And then once they're down, you also want to create that space, right? So lean back. And then I just try to find that opening between the weak spot and his grip.
And again, just fight it. It's probably not going to work, you know, flawlessly. You have to fight it and maybe do a few more attacks to the body, the groin, the knees, the shins, the eyes, you know, whatever. Maybe, you know, actually, think about it. If I've got both of my hands trying to control her one hand, what am I not able to do? I'm not able to protect my eye.
Yeah.
She could thumb me right in the eye.
Yep.
You know, so that's I think that would be extremely effective. And then as soon as my eyes hit, then I'm going to let go. There's no way I'm holding on to her after that. So if somebody's attacking you, let's have you do this, where you like this, total face coverage.
Yeah.
If somebody's beating on your face, you can put your hands to the back of your head, bring your elbows together, and then it's pretty hard to get a good shot in, you know. Obviously you can move around. Now I can get her there, but most of the head is covered, and you can do that in the event that there's nowhere for you to run and somebody's got you trapped and they just want to beat on you. You can do that, and trust me, hurts a lot less than beating on your arms and actually hitting your skull.
And then when you're like this, I mean, if they're focused on hitting you, like that opens you up to be able to hit them back, you know, like, yeah. So if I was like here, yeah, like I can kick him here, I can come in, you know, try and get in the face. Wow.
She's a fighter, that's why she thinks like that. A problem that some people have when they're fighting an attacker is they go halfway, they don't fully commit. And, you know, whether it's fear that if they fully commit and really go all out on the attacker, that the attacker is going to dish out an even worse punishment. You can't think like that. But you also be mindful. You got to think about what are their weak spots. Attacking my eyes, my throat, my shins. If she were able to get a hold of one finger, she could rip that finger. You know, you'd want to rip it in a direction it's not supposed to go. But go for the weak spots. Go for the vulnerable spots, and not just the big target. So another thing is, if an attacker is trying to get you into their house or car or whatever, and they try to use your clothing to control you, depends on what you're wearing. But if it's like a jacket or something loose, you know, or something that's very stretchy, there is the possibility that you can slip out of it and run away. That does a couple things. One, get you away from them. They no longer have control if their control was on your clothing and not your body. And so you can, you know, get away, and then they have to chase you down. But also, another thing it does, if there's people around, if there's anybody around, it's going to draw attention to the situation. If a girl just left her shirt in the guy's hands, that means problem. If anybody seeing that is going to see the guy as a bad guy and the girl is a victim, and they're going to take action, whether it's calling 911 or going, you know, somehow helping out the girl. Don't. It may be embarrassing, but if it's your life, put your life ahead of embarrassing. Put your life ahead of doing something uncomfortable. Do whatever it takes to keep yourself alive. I'm curious. I'm not a woman, so it's easy for me to say that. I want to hear from a woman the perspective, you know, how you feel about that strategy.
Yeah, I'd never thought about that before, but I mean, it makes sense if somebody's trying to just pull you somewhere and they have a good grip on your hoodie or your shirt. If you can slip out of it, I think that is a very good point. Like, you know, if you're just wearing like your bra underneath, like it's going to expose you, but yeah, like it's going to draw attention. And so, you know, your attacker is probably still pretty nearby. And so, you know, they're going to be able to see what's going on. So I do think that could be an effective strategy, but just like you said, you know, you want to put your life above everything else. So if it's, you know, embarrassing or awkward, like, just focus on, I mean, you're probably not even going to be thinking about that if you're in that situation. Your adrenaline's going to be going, you're just going to be trying to get away. So yeah, I do think it's a good strategy just to bring more attention to the situation.
The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put her in a chokehold. We're going to do a few different things with this to show you how you can make the choke less effective and potentially get out of it. So
here. So let's go before you've locked it in. So if he just has one hand here, we want to reach back with our thumb up in the air. You can try to find a finger like he was mentioning before. You're just going to be grabbing that and just trying to pull it down. You can use your other free hand, 2-on-1. You're pulling it down and trying to get away that way. So just remember, thumb up. So you have that leverage point. You can pull it down.
let's see here. Okay. So do you want me to lock in, or do you want me to just hold it like this?
Yeah, we can just go to the next one. So.
You know what? Maybe with this one, I'll start to put my arm around you, and you pin your chin to your chest.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so this one, she senses that I'm going to put her in a chokehold. So what's she doing there? She's pinning her chin to her chest. That means I cannot get her. Now, I do know some techniques to do this, but you have to have actually studied jiu-jitsu. And I'm not going to show on this video how to defeat this, because that would be more of a move for an aggressor. But yeah, pinning your chin. I mean, I can still kind of control her until she slips out of it, but I'm not going to cause her pain.
Yeah. So what we did there, I had 2-on-1 and was pulling down, and then I'm stepping behind him, bringing my ear to his chest, and moving my whole body, and slipping out of the hole.
Was your chin pinned that time?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's try that one more time.
Yeah, so chin down, turning, getting out.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
We just go here. Okay. Grabbing for this back one. Pulling the finger. Trying to get that away. And then going to the 2-on-1. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts with that?
May have looked relaxed, and it really was. Maybe a little bit fake, because I wasn't locked onto her really tight. The thing with that though is the move is effective. If this was real and I had her locked down pretty tight, she would have also had adrenaline going through her, and so she would have been able to do that move with a lot of violence, and she would have been able to break free. It would have been a struggle for her, and I would have struggled to hold on to her, but eventually she would have broken free, because there's significant power in that move. Let's do it one more time. So what exactly are we doing?
So reaching for the backhand, trying to grab finger. Again, your thumb is up. Trying to get it from behind your head, so you create that space, and then moving to the 2-on-1. Maybe even grabbing a finger here, and then stepping behind, putting my ear to his chest, and then stepping out the hole.
So here's another one. Is this is just going through a little bit of the mechanics of a rear naked choke. Is when I'm doing the choke like this, it's putting pressure on these arteries. It's cutting off the circulation to the brain, and it literally takes seconds for the person to pass out. Now, with one simple move, she can change that just by turning her head. All she has to do is turn her head. Now, I don't have the ability to compress those arteries, and she can also make her move. So maybe there's a situation where there's a wall there or something, and she can't do that particular move. She's got to buy herself time. You know, pinning's one thing she can do, but maybe the guy gets below her chin anyway, because of how quick he is, or he knows how to defeat that defensive move. The guy, she can turn her head like that, and it's not going to hurt as much. Is your head turned?
Mhm.
What's the difference?
Space.
Let's talk about the difference in how it feels. How does it feel like this versus when you turn your head?
Yeah, when you turn your head, I mean, there's more space here. There's more air. You can still breathe. But if I'm like this, then it's cutting off the just cutting off the blood supply. Yeah. So I do have a women's empowerment retreat business. So we'll do camps. We'll get together. We'll go over some basic martial arts. Do some holistic wellness activities. So my company is called Igniting Victory. You can find us at ignitingvictory.com. There's info on future retreats coming up there. Feel free to reach out to me. You can find my contact info on there as well.
And she does it in the beautiful mountains. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, we're out in Arizona, so northern Arizona.
But still, most people when you say Arizona, they think desert.
Yeah.
This is the mountains, beautiful. Anyway, she does an awesome job. I sent my daughter to her retreat, and my daughter absolutely loved it. And my daughter's cousins. So I had 3 nieces and my daughter all go. They all loved it. They had the time of their life.
Yeah.
And it was they felt like they benefited from it significantly. So check her out. I'll put the website in the description, so you'll have it there. You can check her out. Again, thank you so much. You've been awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Rex.
And
appreciate it.
We'll do some other